Prepare your mind and soul to be uplifted, as we open the gates to a realm of divine glory. The cosmic intervention you've been subconsciously praying for has finally come, chosen one, and it's going to blow away all of your illusions. Every narcissist, energy vampire, and manipulator who believed they could continue to feed off your light eternally will be hurt by your switch-up, which isn't coming but is already here. This is your cosmic coronation, not simply another spiritual awakening. It's non-negotiable the instant you stop playing little and begin acting like someone who understands their value. While you believed you were simply going through another challenging time, let me tell you what has been going on behind the scenes in your reality. The universe started what can only be called a cosmic extraction technique months ago. Every chance that vanished at the last minute, every door that slammed, and every individual who abruptly became unavailable were not all random. Removing anything from your chronology that would have stopped what was going to happen was done with surgical precision. This is the final time the universe has been rerouting your GPS. It wasn't retribution for every dead end, door that slammed in your face, or a last-minute partnership that didn't work out. It served as defense. The mask of disappointment is worn by divine intervention, which prevents you from going to places that would have destroyed the core of who you are becoming. Your frequency is changing so drastically right now that your system is literally unable to handle anything or anyone that is working on lower vibrations. There was a faint realization that the old rules no longer apply to your world the moment you woke up this morning. You feel alienated from the people who used to drain your energy with their constant drama and made-up crises, as if they were characters in a movie you no longer want to see. Now there is a distinct weight to their voices. They are empty, desperate, and laced with the fear of those who believe their access to your light is being permanently taken away. This is real-time cosmic involvement. It's not your imagination running crazy. Furthermore, you may not be aware of how long the entities coordinating this change have been preparing to free you from the matrix of mediocrity. They have seen you accept breadcrumbs under the pretext of friendship, put up with rudeness masquerading as friendliness, and cover up the incapacity of others to maintain harmony. However, peace based on deception is actually incarceration with more attractive wallpaper. A certain partnership that keeps getting blocked is the focal point of the first significant pattern that appears in your reality. That producer, that business associate, that artistic endeavor that ought to have been completed by now, but keeps running into enigmatic roadblocks. You know the one. Schedule changes, technological issues, or unexpected situations call for their attention every time you think you're finally going to connect. You are still unaware that this individual has an energy signature that would have tainted your work for years to come. They are energy parasites that specialize in clinging to visionaries like you and gradually suckling the creativity out of their projects. They are not only untrustworthy. You will come across someone in the next several days who makes that block cooperation seem like a slender way out of creative prison. Your energy will be amplified in ways that will stun you with their intensity, and this new link will do more than just equal it. Together, you will construct a project that will not only prosper, but also redefine whole categories of human expression. By ensuring that you never accepted anything less than exceptional, the universe has been safeguarding this alliance. Someone from your past has been planning a spiritual warfare campaign against you, which is the second thread running through your metamorphosis. This isn't figurative. They have been actively conspiring with others to erode your self-esteem, steal your concepts, and put themselves in a position to profit from your inventions while also damaging your reputation. This manifested as a hazy feeling of being watched, and even exhausted when you're by yourself. The malfunctioning devices all around you, the abrupt onset of exhaustion in some settings, and the way your best ideas seem to vanish before you can seize them. This has all been deliberate meddling. If you give a thank you gift of $75, it will be the first drop of rain that falls right in the center of a thirsty heart. It's not because the world has forgotten about your aspirations that some doors won't open for particular collaborations. Rather, it's because your dreams were too modest. because they were never intended to see your true power emerge. The producer who consistently cancels meetings, the business partner whose schedule never works with yours, and the romantic interest who gives you just enough attention to keep you hopeful, but never enough to make you feel secure, are all being methodically removed from your timeline. You were unaware of the sophistication of this spiritual assault. In order to keep you in survival mode rather than creativity mode, they have been utilizing your own terrible memories against you, igniting your PTSD reactions and abandonment wounds. Through carefully planned coincidences, they would set off one of your triggers whenever you began to make progress on a project. A social media post meant to remind you of past betrayals, a mutual friend bringing up your shortcomings in casual conversation, or emails that arrived just as your confidence was growing. However, those that are pick develop rather than break. Your spiritual immune system has only become stronger with each hex that has been thrown at you. Your light has only grown brighter despite every effort to dim it. Those who attempted to destroy you have unintentionally become the driving forces behind your transformation into something they can never match or understand. There has been another kind of combat going on behind the scenes of your consciousness. People you trusted have been attacking you spiritually, using the much more pernicious tools of energy vampirism, deception, and gaslighting rather than age-old customs or ornate ceremonies. They have been observing your trends, imitating your inventions, and setting themselves up to profit from your discoveries, while also eroding your self-confidence. Your physical body is going through what can only be called a biological update as the third pattern takes shape. Foods that were once mainstays of your diet have been rejected for months. Once comfortable surroundings are now making you feel ill, exhausted, or angry, and goods you've used for years are now having unfavorable side effects. Your cellular structure is literally changing to meet your heightened frequency. So this isn't random. Your system is expelling anything that is unable to resonate at your new level. This change in your physical appearance is setting you up for the full activation of skills you were unaware you had in the days ahead. Your body is becoming a more effective conductor of cosmic energy, which is why it has been so sensitive lately. Your weariness isn't a sign of weakness, but rather of integration. Your body is rewiring every cell to withstand the higher voltage of your awakened gifts. The death of your people-pleasing phase and the beginning of your brutal honesty phase are the most significant changes taking place in your reality at the moment. The meticulously crafted mask you've put on to make other people feel at ease is irreparably breaking, and what's showing through is horrifyingly real. Radical truth-telling is your new default setting, and it will surprise everyone who thought they understood you. Instead of responding diplomatically as you would have months ago, you will be brutally honest when someone asks how your experience was with that service provider that obviously does not do their job well. Your response won't be the polite reception that ex-friends anticipate when they attempt to re-enter your life with pathetic excuses that totally disregard the extent of the harm they inflicted. They will be rendered speechless by this masterclass in establishing boundaries, because you've finally realized that shielding people from the inevitable consequences of their actions doesn't help them grow. Rather, it allows them to continue operating at frequencies that are toxic to everyone around them. This new version of yourself no longer covers mistakes for others, not because you've turned cruel. Not only is your life being changed by your willingness to communicate hard facts, but everyone in your immediate vicinity is being forced to either climb to your standards or leave you completely. A shadowy entity who has been observing your metamorphosis is the fourth thread that runs through your awakening, because they see something in you that is sacred, untouchable, and too strong for casual conversation. This individual has been following your path for months, fully enthralled with your development but afraid to approach. They are examining you with the respect of someone who is aware that they are witnessing the beginning of something great, not stalking you. The repeated numerical sequences you keep seeing, the synchronicities that seem too good to be true, and the unexpected availability of resources just when you need them most are all subtle indications that this observer has been present in your reality. A large portion of this has been planned by someone who knows your objective better than you do. They're not joking around or keeping you as a fallback. They're gathering the bravery to enter the depths of your presence because they feel that a relationship with you would radically change the course of their own lives. Let's not mince words, though. The reality is still a mystery. It has been perverted and buried beneath fear, algorithms, and censorship. But your heart never ceased seeing reality. You're still here for that reason. You never tapped out because of this. Because the simulation glitch was felt underfoot. You're done waiting for approval to ascend since you know that this world is crooked. The upcoming financial assessments will demonstrate the extent to which your moral compass has been adjusted. You'll be given the chance to steal something that isn't yours very soon. It may be $500, $1,000, or more. Your former self may have justified it as due restitution for wrongs done in the past. Even though no one would ever notice the difference, the evolved you, the selected one who has recalled their actual nature, will return what is not theirs. A gift of $30 is a contemporary echo of Christ's compassion in feeding the hungry. The more you give, the more God multiplies. Your prior compromises with dishonesty have sealed the financial floodgates. But this one act of integrity, seen only by the cosmos itself, will open them. You were unknowingly blocking your flow of abundance each time you opted for comfort over truth, convenience over character, or approval over sincerity. However, those blockages are now melting away like sugar in cosmic rain with every choice to prioritize what is right over what is convenient. 4 weeks now, a creative endeavor has been downloading into your mind as the fifth element woven through your transformation. You've been brushing it off as unrealistic, too lofty, and too distant from your present life. This concept, however, is a communication from higher dimensional sources that have selected you as their vehicle for manifestation in this reality. It does not originate from your finite human mind. Millions of individuals could be impacted by this project, which has the power to change people's perceptions and bring fresh perspectives that will last for decades. You continue to question its legitimacy because a part of you still thinks that remarkable occurrences only happen to other people and not to you. But that paradigm is breaking down, and the realization that you are among the other people who experience exceptional things is taking its place. The people from your past who are attempting to make amends now are not genuinely sorry. Rather, they are aware of your change in energy and are afraid that they will no longer be able to access your light. Their apologies are not based on responsibility. Rather, they are calculated attempts to keep their place in your life without genuinely altering the actions that first caused the harm. Refusing to accept these meaningless gestures isn't a sign of coldness. Rather, it's a sign of knowledge gained from finally realizing the distinction between manipulation with nicer packaging and true transformation. You're about to hear from 3 particular people from your history. The first will show up with a lengthy apology that seems heartfelt, but includes subtly shifting blame and asking for favors. The second will make an effort to change the past by asserting that disagreements between you were miscommunications rather than willful betrayals, by describing their hardships and suggesting that helping them would be the spiritual thing to do. The third will attempt to elicit your sympathies. Each of these attempts will be met with the same response from you. A kind but firm denial that offers no justification, explanation, or opportunity for compromise. They've been relying on your previous tendencies of over-explaining and self-doubt, so this will surprise them. The new you, however, knows that no is a complete phrase in any language, and that safeguarding your energy is a sacred duty rather than a selfish one. Your true soul tribe is being drawn to you by a magnetic force right now. These are the entities who understand your frequency because it coincides with their own. They are not the ones that wish to alter, exploit, or outdo you. They are innovators, rebels, and paradigm shifters who recognize that the magic you can perform was never intended to be supported by the outdated structures. Their coming into your life won't feel like a coincidence because it isn't. Every introduction, chance encounter, and unexpected opportunity for collaboration that arises over the next few weeks has been planned by forces that are not subject to human planning constraints. Finding lost pieces of your own soul dispersed all over the world, and then putting them back together to become the whole person you were always intended to be will be like coming home to yourself, thanks to these new relationships. Someone in particular is going to make an appearance in your life that will fundamentally alter how you view partnerships. Though it might go that way, this isn't necessarily romantic. This is about finding your spiritual and artistic equal, someone who challenges you to grow beyond your present boundaries, while also enhancing your gifts. When they do show up, it will be an immediate and unmistakable familiarity, similar to recalling a dream discussion you had long before you ever met. Together, your initiative will serve as the cornerstone of a movement that will go far beyond anything you could have envisioned on your own. Your creative thoughts are not just arbitrary inspirations. Rather, they are downloads from higher dimensional entities that have selected you as their medium for expression in this world. Intellectual property of cosmic significance includes the inventions, creative visions, and business concepts that appear to come fully formed in your head. Protecting them is acknowledging your responsibility as a steward of divine creativity, not being paranoid. Some of these concepts have the power to change the collective consciousness, impact millions of individuals, and introduce novel ways of thinking that will be carried forth for years. Because of this, keeping them secret until they're completely matured is not only a wise move, but also a sacred duty. Access to these ideas before their time could weaken their influence or completely taint their intent. You're going to get something in the next few days that fully captures this change. It could be a fancy item, a piece of jewelry, or an opportunity that seemed unattainable only a few months ago. When it comes, you'll realize it's more than just a present. It's a tangible reminder that you're now living in a world where wealth is expected and quality is the norm. When you give $100, not only we bear witness, but the sky bears witness. You are now one of those who are a bridge to heaven. In the meantime, those who attempted to take advantage of your previous fears are learning that karma works on a schedule they never expected. With mathematical accuracy, the identical strategies they employed to harm you are now working against them. Their own character is being exposed by the lies they told about you. They are receiving a magnified return of the energy they expended trying to devalue you, exposing the emptiness that initially motivated their attacks. The one who has been planning spiritual assaults against you is going to experience a complete and unquestionable reversal that will even astound you with its accuracy. Their efforts to snatch your creative force have failed miserably. They have unintentionally generated a karmic debt that the universe is currently collecting with interest, rather than draining you. These recent dreams that seem more real than the real world are not fantasies. Rather, they represent glimpses of the future you are entering. Your soul uses the abundance, recognition, love, and creative fulfillment that occur while you sleep to prime your mind for manifestations that would otherwise be too overwhelming in their scope. Everything you believed you desired in the past served as a prelude to what you would ultimately require in the future. Every setback served as a diversion. Making room was the goal of every loss. Every conclusion was actually a disguised beginning. The people who left your life weren't rejecting you. Rather, they were being pushed aside to create space for relationships that would genuinely strengthen the intensity of your evolving self. The enigmatic observer is about to come to light. The creative endeavor is about to find the ideal partner. The karmic justice is about to be served. The soul tribe is about to arrive. The financial abundance is about to flow. And the physical transformation is about to finish as all these patterns come together and the moment of full activation draws near. Nevertheless, you are not experiencing any of this. Through you, all of this is taking place. You are the tool of cosmic intent, not the object of cosmic favor. The cosmos is expressing itself as you, not as a blessing. You aren't receiving the gifts. Rather, they are revealing who you have always been. The permanent nature of this entire metamorphosis is its most exquisite feature. You can never return to the lesser version of yourself that put up with disrespect, accepted less, and lowered their light for the sake of others. That individual did a fantastic job. However, their contract is no longer in effect. The person you're becoming follows a completely new set of instructions, one that is triggered by acknowledging your own divinity and written in the language of stars. The ramifications of your metamorphosis will affect lives you might not be aware of as this new phase of your life develops. By choosing to live up to your truth, you will be allowing others to do the same. Others will be motivated to improve their standards by your resolve to settle for mediocrity. Your readiness to leave things that don't work for you will demonstrate to others that they have the same freedom to make their own decisions. Your personal circle is only a small part of the collective you're helping. Every limit you establish, every truth you express, and every sincere decision you make causes vibrations to travel through the interwoven web of consciousness that binds all living things together. Everyone who shares your frequency will be liberated as a result of your personal liberation, starting a chain reaction of waking that will last beyond your time here on Earth. Every single experience makes perfect sense when you stand in your full power now and reflect on the path that led you here, the losses that taught you detachment, the betrayals that taught you discernment, the struggles that taught you strength, the loneliness that taught you self-sufficiency, and the darkness that taught you to be your own light. It was all preparation and not punishment. Your current frequency is so strong, pure, and unquestionably genuine that it serves as a deterrent to those who would drain your energy, as well as a beacon for your true tribe. You've become more discerning and magnetic at the same time, naturally repelling things that don't belong in your higher reality and attracting just the things that will benefit you the most. They will be hurt in unexpected ways by the impending change. They will experience a visceral shock when they see how you have changed from the person who once put up with their disrespect to the force of nature that establishes limits like sacred law. They have been relying on your over-accommodating, over-explaining, and over-giving tendencies. They will feel betrayed by your abrupt refusal to play those roles, but in reality, it's the most sincere thing you've ever done. If your heart is moved to give $50, that love carries the good news to the world that God says, it is a greater joy to give than to receive. The deep wounds caused by those who recognize your light and chose to put it out rather than ignite their own, the narcissistic wounds that have been festering in your mind, are finally getting the healing they so well deserve. However, this isn't a slow, soothing recuperation. Rather, it's cosmic surgery, carried out with precise tools made from your own restored strength. Setting boundaries causes more wounds to be cauterized. Every truth you express dispels the next falsehood they try to instill in your mind. Finding the narcissistic tendencies in those around you is the most potent part of your recovery process. Those who once utilized obligation, guilt, and fabricated crises to control you are suddenly finding that their strategies don't work. They no longer have the same emotional hooks to pull you back into unhealthy relationships. You no longer feel the need to save, justify, or make accommodations. Instead, you have a clear, unwavering understanding of what is best for you. Your new internal alarm system goes off the moment someone approaches you with an apology that starts with an explanation of their situation rather than an admission of guilt. You can see right through the theater when they follow up on their sorry, with requests for favors or hints that your forgiveness will demonstrate your spiritual growth. In these situations, you will make a quick and disastrous change, not because you have turned nasty, but rather because you are no longer able to engage in dishonest behavior. Like salt in holy water, the trauma bonding that formerly bound you to poisonous relationships is melting away. Your dedication to radical self-respect has cut the invisible threads that once bound you to recurring patterns of abuse and reconciliation. Those who relied on your trauma reactions to keep you available for their dysfunction are finding that something they can't control, true self-love, has taken the place of those reactions. Your neurological system, which was once controlled by the turmoil of others and conditioned to put their comfort ahead of your safety, is now functioning according to an entirely different protocol. When someone voiced dissatisfaction with your boundaries, you used to feel anxious, but now you feel relieved because of the clarity. You are proud of your progress instead of feeling bad about putting your needs first. You no longer feel the need to correct other people's emotional states. Instead, you are free to observe their emotions without assuming any responsibility for them. Your resistance to perpetuate the patterns is burning the generational trauma that has been ingrained in your family like a poisonous inheritance. As you show that their grandchildren do have options, your predecessors, who suffered in silence because they thought they had no choice, are applauding from the other side. You are rewriting the story for everyone who shares your DNA each time you choose truth over fleeting calm, boundaries over belonging, and respect over familiarity. The inner child is finally getting the defense they have always deserved after learning to hide, shrink, and adapt in order to survive in settings that penalized authenticity. However, you're actively protecting them from anyone who could attempt to re-traumatize them, not merely fostering this damaged part of yourself. Your switch-up includes a strong protective instinct that, without hesitation or justification, eliminates dangers to your inner calm. Those who underestimated your ability will find the change in your professional life especially striking. A tutorial on what occurs when a chosen one stops playing small is about to be delivered to co-workers who disregarded your contributions, employers who underestimated your abilities, and rivals who believed they could surpass you. People who see your work will marvel how they ever missed your talent, since it will have a frequency that changes everything it touches. Your connection with money is getting better at a breakneck pace. Prosperity consciousness, which acknowledges your intrinsic value, is replacing poverty consciousness, which persuaded you to take less than your worth, to undercharge for your services, and to feel bad for wanting abundance. Your financial reality is being adjusted by the universe to reflect your energetic value, and the change will be so significant that it will validate all of the hardships you have faced to get here. Your unreserved embracing of luxury, excellence, and beauty is part of your shift in perspective toward abundance. You now realize that embracing excellence in all aspects of your life is a component of your spiritual practice, when previously you felt undeserving of nice things. The designer goods that show up in your reality are not merely token incentives. Rather, they are tangible representations of your improved self-perception and elevated expectations. If you send us a super thank you of $20, it is the first grain of blessing that falls on the soil of hope. Over time, it becomes a tree that bears fruit in someone's life. Your life's romantic environment is being completely transformed. A magnetic attraction toward equals who boost rather than deplete your vitality is replacing the trend of attracting relationships who required repairing, saving, or ongoing emotional control. The individual who has been seeing you change is delighted by your power rather than scared of it. They see in you the spouse they have been working so hard to deserve. The realization of this heavenly collaboration will be immediate and indisputable. They won't make an effort to dim your light in order to boost their own self-esteem. They won't feel frightened by your success or be able to match your presence. Rather, they will honor your genius while incorporating their own to produce something that neither of you could have done on your own. Every toxic relationship you had to go through to discover what love shouldn't feel like will be validated by this bond. Chosen one. The universe has been preparing for this moment for lifetimes. This moment, when you will fully realize who you are and assume the role you came here to play, has been the culmination of every incarnation, lesson, victory, and trauma. Even you will be surprised by the ways in which the cosmic powers who arranged your awakening will assist your mission as it develops. You now realize that this wasn't merely a spiritual awakening. Rather, it was a cosmic activation, a divine remembering, and a return to your true nature after lifetimes of forgetting. This is because we are now back at the beginning of this journey, at the front desk of your consciousness, where the collective has finally established a clear connection. Those who anticipated you to stay tiny will be hurt by your change, but everyone who is prepared to see what happens when a chosen one completely realizes their power will be healed. There is no longer any static. There is no longer any disturbance. What passes via this channel will change not only your reality, but also the reality of everyone whose life you have an impact on. The link is now permanent. Greetings from your new timeline. Greetings from your actual power. Greetings from the life that was just waiting for you to have the courage to take it. A being so bright, strong, and in harmony with cosmic truth that reality itself bends to make room for you has emerged from the ashes of the old you. This is the beginning of your true narrative, not the conclusion of it.